gotta be a football hero to enjoy, explore Tulsa. And with that, it's only fitting that we start the show with a look at the new and improved 6A.
Then we'll go antiquing from both sides of the fence.
Followed by the buzz about honey.
Plus, get them while they're hot.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. Thanks for including us as a part of your weekly routine. How about it, Stevie? You ready for some football?
You better believe it, Trish. High school season is on its way. The Golden Hurricane hosts the Sooners in week 2 of college football.
The new high school 6A split should make for a much more competitive situation, with schools each week being matched up to other schools with nearly the same number of students from which to draw quality athletes from.
I'm glad you analyzed the situation for us. How about we hear from a few coaches around T-Town, and then you can help me with my fantasy football team.
Okay.
I always say this, I've coached at 4A and 5A and the 6A level, and until you go over to Jinx and you play on a Friday night, you just don't understand the difference of it. You know, that's not an insult to anybody else, but there's 6A and there's going and playing at Jinx, and so it's just a different deal.
In Oklahoma, the 32 largest schools compete for the Class 6A state championship in football. For the last 18 years, 2 teams have dominated 6A football in Oklahoma, Jinx and Union, both of which have enrollment numbers 3 to 4 times those of some of the smaller schools in Class 6A. Deeming this a competitive disadvantage, the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association approved a split in Class 6A, placing the 16 larger schools in 6A Division I and the remaining smaller schools in 6A Division II.
With Broken Arrow having 4,800 students, and then, you know, at the bottom of 6A having 12 or 1,300 students, just such a huge disparity. I don't know that there's a good answer, but I do know that 6A Division II, which we're in, the schools are fairly comparative in size. So that's going to be good for us. Week in, week out, there won't be, you know, a whole lot of games where teams are pulling their starters out at halftime and stuff. So it'll be more competitive and more rigorous down as the season and district play continues.
Well, as far as it goes for us, we're going to have a lot of new opponents. We're going to be playing more schools on the west side than we ever have. It's going to entail a little bit more travel for us than what we've had in the past. The biggest concern for us about the split in 6A Division I and Division II is from a financial standpoint, and the fact that there's only 4 of us here on the east side. And so we're probably going to have less gate receipts than what we've had in the past, especially this year with the one guaranteed big gate at home, that against Jinx in our 3rd ball game. So we're having to do a lot of things in our athletic department to try to increase our attendance and try to do some things to get more people out. We've always had excellent attendance, but we've always had excellent visiting crowds because of the proximity of the teams that we played, the Sand Springs, Bartlesville, and those types of people who will no longer play. So that is a concern. The competition we feel like will be outstanding, and we're looking forward to that.
We've played Union and Owasso every year in district. We've played Jinx and Broken Arrow in the playoffs. Not many people can say in this new division that they've played all 4 of the big 4, and we're one of the few schools that can say that. I think it just gives more excitement to different schools, especially when you look at schools who've been on the cusp right there. Like for us, we've been able to compete in that old division, but we hadn't won a playoff game. So, you know, we're excited to not only get over the playoff hump, but hopefully contend for a state title. We felt like we would be top 5, top 4, even with the original alignment, and I think having this split it's going to definitely benefit Booker T.
Since we're the largest school, the 6A 1-2 split really didn't affect us very much. Okay, the only thing that you will see is we won't have those games where, you know, the competitive side is so out of balance as we've had in the past, where you might have a game between a Westmore and a Jinx where you would, your starters, you're only going to plan on playing them 20, 25 plays. That's not going to happen anymore. It'll be more competitive for 10 weeks.
From an enrollment standpoint, no doubt we'll be matched up more evenly now against teams more closely resembling our size in terms of the number of students in the high school. And I think also that we'll be in a situation where the competition is going to be a little bit stiffer. And that's a challenge, and that's something that we look forward to and seeing how we measure up against the teams on the west side.
There's going to be some serious football this season, Trish.
And according to the Max Prep Southwest Region Football Computer Rankings, Jinx is poised to three-peat for the state title.
I don't know, Trish. There's going to be some good teams out there lining up, like Union, Broken Arrow.
Yeah, but Jinx is ranked 6th among all schools from Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, while Union only comes in at number 24.
Don't you ever do any girl stuff, like shopping or something?
Of course I do. That's how I get all the best seats to the big games.
Maybe you should try antiquing.
Oh, I know the perfect place too. Great for both guys and girls.
You read my mind, Trish, as we head out to Mike's Mantiques
and Old Pink Truck when we return with more Explore Tulsa.
Ever since the first movie theaters opened in the early 1900s, man has been trying everything to bring that same experience home to enjoy with their families. And for more than 30 years, Video Revolution and their home entertainment experts have been making those dreams come true by designing custom home theater solutions for both in and outdoor use. From 1080p LEDs to the brand new Sony 4K flat panel TVs, or come in to see the latest in sound bars and surround sound setups. Always the top name brands are found at Video Revolution. That same electronic expertise we also apply to your business communications network, from boardroom automation to video wall presentations. No matter what technology the future holds, you can count on Video Revolution to be leading the way. Tulsa's headquarters for the best selection and installation of cutting-edge electronics. Video Revolution on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Hey, it's Stevie from Explore Tulsa with my friend and optometrist for many years, Dr. Robert Zellner. Tell everybody why it's so good to come in to see you.
Well, that's a great question. Let's see, we've got 2 great locations. We try to stay cutting edge at every point along the way because, let's face it, everybody wants to come in and get taken care of in a timely fashion and get the latest, greatest stuff and save some money and get on with their life. And see clearly.
And if you don't believe it, look on the website.
Absolutely, drzellner.com. You can find that we have our 2 locations at 69th and Memorial and 3030 South Harvard, or you can give us a call at 749-2020 or 461-2020.
And I got 4 kids, and I got to tell you, as a big family like that, it's affordable too.
Oh yes, and of course, the number one reason, you save some money. I mean, with our 2-pair specials, with our different unique packages that we put together, I mean, you can come in here and your money can go a lot farther than anywhere else.
And that's why with Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates, seeing is believing.
Oh, I like that, Stevie. Well done.
Hi, we're so glad you decided to stick around for more Explore Tulsa while we go antiquing.
What's so funny?
Oh, that's just what I tell my friends that I'm out doing whenever we hang out together during a segment.
Really? I'm so glad I can be so much entertainment for you and your friends out at Kappa Delta Trish's sorority house.
Well, we also enjoy going shopping for antiques that have real value, like at Old Pink Truck and Mike's Mantiques.
When I was in my early 20s is when I started kind of collecting stuff, and motorcycles was the big deal. I always wanted a motorcycle and couldn't have one. And when I got old enough where I could thought I could afford one, I couldn't, but I could afford some parts, so I started and just built my own, which is that one out there on the sidewalk I've had for 20 years.
Well, I grew up with parents that absolutely loved antiquing. So if we were on a family vacation or whatever, they'd stop at old broken down abandoned homes and barns, and we'd all be searching for little things here and there or stopping at antique shops. And so I just kind of grew up with it, and it's in my blood. And later in life I ended up doing the exact same thing. I found myself searching for neat things at sales, estate sales, garage sales.
Mike's Mantiques I've had for quite a while, and the Old Pink Truck was her thing. And when we started to open the store, we thought, well, we need to find a name, just one common name, and we couldn't come up with anything that we liked, and we didn't want to lose our own identity, so we just kept both of them. But we work great together. We have a lot of fun. When we're not in the shop, we're out running around looking for antiques and always out looking and searching. So.
Well, we started accumulating a lot, and then we were meeting more and more people that loved doing it and loved buying it, and we were buying and selling, and then we've grown up in this area, so we saw this space available, fell in love with the space, and decided we wanted to share our passion in the city that we love, and on Route 66, so it just was a natural fit for us.
Right now, signs, advertisement signs, gas and oil, soda pop products are really hot right now. Everybody likes to decorate their garage, their living room. We sell some car parts, some hubcaps, grills, things of that nature that people like to decorate with.
My favorite, we call it pick, that we've ever done, in my opinion, was when we were invited into the estate of a man's grandma that he had taken care of until she died, and he took us through her whole house, and we got to see all of her treasures and a glimpse into her life, and he just shared all kinds of stories, and we kind of fell in love with, her name was Wilma, and she was 1 week shy of 100 when she died, and so I got to accumulate and acquire a lot of her things, and some of the things I took home I didn't bring to the shop because I was a little emotionally attached, but I like to share the story of Wilma and stories like hers with customers, because then it gives the piece that they buy meaning, and a history behind it.
Well, I'm kind of a history nut. I love history and learning about things, and I like things that people have had, just general everyday use things that people have had and used. It just has a story behind them. So I was always intrigued with history, so the antiques just kind of came naturally after that, because it's something you could hold in your hand and kind of relate to the past.
I really loved all the signs at Mike's Mantiques.
And Jamie's done an amazing job decorating the store to make it a fun trip through the past.
To find out for yourself, visit Mike's Mantiques and Old Pink Truck at 1416 East 11th Street.
You can also look each of them up on Facebook.
Hey Trish, what do you get when you cross a bee with a doorbell?
Oh, I don't know, but I can be positive that you're going to tell us.
You get a humdinger.
Let's see if you're still laughing when we send you out with Beekeeper Kenny Hammond next when Explore Tulsa continues.
It's football season, and we have a spectacular playbook here at Danny Beck Chevrolet with huge discounts, great rebates, 0%, and our playbook includes excellent customer satisfaction from the friendliest folks in town and the best service after the sale. Find new roads at Danny Beck Chevrolet. Don't be fooled by one of my competitors' trick plays. Remember, always go back for more.
You on the night in question?
I was at Video Revolution. They're open till 7 Monday through Friday, 6 on Saturdays, and 5 on Sunday.
Is there anyone that can testify to the accuracy of your story?
Yeah. All the salespeople were caring and friendly, and they knew everything about home entertainment, all my home entertainment needs, and from HD TVs to camcorders and 3D TVs.
The evidence all points to Sony choosing Video Revolution for major growth as an Oklahoma independent retailer. Video Revolution even offers a 30-day lowest price money-back guarantee. The facts are evident, with features and prices you won't find at a big box store. My investigation is proof positive. For the best service before and even after the sale, it would be a crime not to stop by Video Revolution.
Persimmon Hollow Flea Market Village. Shop 16 buildings on 3 acres, free admission, and parking's free too. Open every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Find us 1 block east of 71st and Garnett, behind the Salvation Army store.
If you're sweet on your honey, then you'll be so glad you stuck around for more Explore Tulsa.
And we're going right to the source by hooking up with beekeeper Kenny Hammond.
Kenny's going to take us deep into the beehive and show us how he extracts his wonderful golden nectar.
Guess what, Stevie? Kenny brought you an extra bee suit so you can get right up close to the action.
Wait a minute, that's not part of my business agreement.
Well, actually, I'm a fourth generation beekeeper. And we moved down here in 1988, and my dad tried for years to get a hive in my yard, and my wife wasn't crazy about the idea, but in 1995 I told him, Dad, when you get a swarm this spring, bring it over. I have hives from 91st and Sheridan clear down to 201st and Garnett. I find them fascinating. April, May, and June is basically when the honey is being produced by the bees, and I'm putting additional boxes on a beehive. The bottom two boxes is their house. You don't ever take anything out of their house, but if you have a very strong hive, you can start adding boxes to that. And what's above the second box is what I take and harvest. When they sell that honey in the stores, those producers sell it to a packing outfit that actually, initially they boil it to pasteurize it, which basically takes all of the enzymes and all of the good out of that honey. And once they do that, then they put that honey through a number of filters to get every particle of everything out of that honey. So what you see in the store is a beautiful jar of clear honey. But because of all of that process, basically all you're buying is a honey-flavored syrup. For a very strong hive, you will have one queen, and a strong hive would be 60,000 bees or better. Her job is to run the roost, and she has a whole different set of pheromones that she can emit to tell the other bees in the hive what needs to happen. And then you have probably 95–98% of the rest of the bees are the worker bee, which is the infertile female. And these are the ones that clean the house, feed the babies, make the wax, guard the house, and collect nectar and pollen. Those are the ones that'll come zipping by your face and find out what you're all about. And they're attracted to you by a perfume or a hairspray or some odor, but just sit there and watch them and they'll realize, well, he doesn't have anything I need, and they'll go away. The problem is people swat at them, and that's when the battle begins. The other 2 to 5% is the drone, which is the male, and he's pretty worthless. I mean, in a beehive, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't feed himself, he doesn't clean house, he doesn't guard the front door. He flies out to look for that virgin queen to mate. The most stings I've probably had at one time was 75, and that was not a pleasant day. I was just trying to help them out with something, and they took offense to it, so you never know what they're going to do. Every honey that you take from a different location is, one, going to be probably a different color, and two, have just a slightly different taste. When I extract honey, I have to cut the caps off of the frame, put it in an extractor, and then spin it. And it's a big centrifuge, and it spins out. Honey slings out on the side, and then it comes out a valve through a like the old spaghetti filter or screen. That's the first filter, and then the second one I put is like a cheesecloth that I run it through that into a settling tank, and then after 24 hours it's ready to bottle. If we did not have bees, we would not be eating a very good diet, and we wouldn't last long because our diet it needs all the vitamins and minerals and everything else that comes into from what the bees do. And I just enjoy them. They're just a fascinating bug.
Kenny's right. His honey is the best. I learned so much from him too. For example, do you know who protects the queen bee?
I don't know. Who?
Her hubby.
Oh, I should have known better. If you'd like to try some of Kenny's honey, visit us at exploretulsa.com and send us an email.
I wonder if honey tastes good on a hot dog.
Oh, we should probably ask an expert, and there's no one more qualified than Tom Lohr, writer of the book Gone to the Dogs, when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99 or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Persimmon Hollow Flea Market Village. Shop 16 buildings on 3 acres. Free admission and parking's free too. Open every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Find us 1 block east of 71st and Garnett behind the Salvation Army store.
I see you, all big fans of hot dogs and Explore Tulsa.
You know, Stevie, there is plenty of history surrounding the hot dog.
A lot of bread and chili, too.
Some say the hot dog dates back to 1487, 5 years before Columbus sailed for the New World.
Others say that the hot dog wasn't really famous until it started being sold in New York City back in the 1860s.
But there is no argument that dogs taste their best when served in ballparks all over the country.
Tom Lohr set out to prove that point by traveling across the U.S. in search of the perfect ballpark hot dog.
I'm a lifelong baseball fan. I've gone to games every year, and whenever you go to the baseball park, you've got to have a hot dog. So you go to the games, you have a hot dog. That sort of, by osmosis, makes you a bit of an expert no matter where you go. I spent 24 years working on surface-to-air cruise missile systems for the military. Then I spent a year in Antarctica, and then 6 more years in the pipeline industry. And last July, I decided that I've had enough of that work stuff. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. Because no matter how rich or powerful you are, or good looking, the one thing you never have enough of is time. So I took off, and last year I drove the entire length of Route 66. I tried to plan my stops in the evening along in some town that had a minor league baseball team or major league baseball team. I was there, and then on the way back, I was stopping on these baseball parks, taking a picture of the hot dogs I was eating, posting them on my Facebook page, and people started asking me, who's got the best hot dog? And I didn't really know. I never had a grading system. So for the hot dog part, to grade the hot dogs, I got in touch with the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council, and there really is such an entity. It's in Washington. And they helped me come up with a grading system for just the run-of-the-mill hot dog, the hot dog you get when you go to the counter and say, give me a dog. And then I came up with one for the stadium because hot dogs taste better in the ballpark. That same hot dog wouldn't taste the same out on the regular park or on the street. And combine the two for an overall rating and figure out who's got the best overall baseball hot dog experience. Now, there's 6 factors I judge them on. One's the bun and the taste, which is the frank itself, the availability of toppings, the price of the dog, the portability of the dog. That's how easy it is to get it from once you buy it at the stand down your seat without getting mustard all over the place. And the last factor is what's called the it factor. The it factor can be something like the Dodger dog that's so famous that people go to the ballpark and they're going to have a Dodger dog, or a specialty dog that people say, hey man, I got to go to the ballpark and try one of those. Case in point would be Texas Rangers. They have a $26 2-foot long, 2-pound hot dog called a boomstick. It's designed to feed 3 to 4 people. That's the it factor. The hot dogs here, a couple things that I say about One Oak Field is number one, for a AA ballpark, we're probably in the top 10% of ballparks in the nation. This ballpark actually puts some of the AAA parks to shame. It's a fantastic location. It's easy to get to, plenty of parking, free parking if you want to find it. The selection of food is really good, and the specialty dogs in particular. The run-of-the-mill dog is pretty darn good, but if you go to get the specialty dogs, in particular I'm fond of the firecracker dog, which is this meat bomb on a pretzel bun that's just absolutely delicious, and you got to have one if you go to the ballpark. It's a fabulous park. I don't think people in Tulsa realize how lucky we are to have a great ballpark and a great location, all at a very affordable price. What makes a hot dog taste better at a baseball park? It's the sensory input. It's the sun in your face, the crack of the bat, the smack of the glove, the roar of the crowd, all the other smells wafting through the air, the peanuts, the beer, the people you meet. All that combined just makes that dog taste so much better. It tricks your brain. It's the same reason that a glass of wine tastes so much better around a campfire with friends rather than it does watching reruns of Breaking Bad on your couch at home. It just, the surroundings and who you're with, that makes it taste so much better. And it's the same with hot dogs.
I've always wanted to do that. Go to a game in every ballpark in the country.
I could see how that could be pretty exciting. And if you'd like to learn all about Tom's travels in search of the perfect ballpark hot dog, visit ballparkdogs.blogspot.com.
I love the bagel dogs they sell at Warren Oak Field. Cold drink, the crack of the bat, the cityscape in the background. Now that's heaven, Trish.
Sooner or later, he's gonna figure out that his hot dog isn't real. Until then, stick around. There's more Explore Tulsa just ahead.
Hi, I'm Stephen Lee with Video Revolution. If you ever wanted great home theater sound and thought it was too difficult, I'm going to show you today how simple it really is. What you're going to find in the box is, of course, the Sonos soundbar that has 9 speakers built into it. It's simple to set up. All you need are 2 cords, the power cord and the optical cord. One of the things about the Sonos soundbar that makes it so great, with the 9 speakers that are built into it, it gives you that cinema sound. Television speakers now are much smaller and people have a hard time hearing the dialogue intelligently. Okay, first, you're going to take the optical cable that comes with it and plug it into the input of the sound bar, and then the other end you will plug into the output of the television. Once your optical cable is plugged in, you're ready to go. You can go to Sonos's website for a free download of the app, and with your iPad or your iPhone or Android phone, you can control the volume of your new Sonos soundbar.
Going somewhere? No?
It's as easy as that. Now that it's set up and ready to go, if you're ready for that home theater experience, just come in and see me and I'll show you how it's done.
Be sure and join us next week when we visit Parkside Hospital to learn all about how they use pet therapy to help families with their overall health and well-being.
We want to thank all the Tulsa 6A high school coaches that helped us understand the new 6A split. Good luck to each of you this season.
Thanks too to Mike and Jamie of Mike's Mantiques and Old Pink Truck, and to Beekeeper Kenny Hammond for all the great honey and for, not getting me stung.
Plus, thanks to Tom Lohr. We're looking forward to the release of Gone to the Dog.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at ExploreTulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook. Share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus, remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for your home entertainment needs. Plus, remember to vote for Video Revolution at TulsaWorld.com for Best in the World in the category of Best Electronics.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of the 2-pair for $129 deal with 2 locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.